We're going to get started. The state of asset management for note investing is not very good. There's about 4 or 5 different software systems that you have to use. One is you have the servicer portals. And even in small to medium-sized investors, you'll have a handful of those, all, whether you're using FCI or Madison, Allied, you're going to have a handful of them, all with different usernames and passwords, all with different reports and interfaces. And then you'll have QuickBooks, where QuickBooks will help you know that that invoice to the lawyer was for legal, but you'll have to tell it that it's attributed to a certain asset, and that only QuickBooks will have knowledge of that. None of your other systems will. Another thing that you need to manage notes is some sort of email system, whether it's Office 365, Gmail, and lastly, maybe you have like a CRM, whether it's Podio or HubSpot, or one more purpose-built for notes. All of these are different systems that have little to no connection to each other. You're the integration point. You're the one moving the records from one place to another. NoteLedger is here to fire you from that job. This is the main dashboard page. Everything all in one place across all of your entities, an aggregated view of your entire unpaid balance, what you're expected to see monthly, how much you paid, everything all at one place. Let's start with notes. NoteLedger is purpose-built for notes. Whether you're talking about a performing note, and this is table stakes, bread and butter. You can keep track of your acquisition prices. You can keep track of your payments, what's come in, when, what they were attributed to, your expenses, as well as the context tied to the specific note and the escrow payments. But it's not just about performing notes, no. Sometimes you need to foreclose on a note. And this is where NoteLedger will help you follow up, not only on memos, these can come from your servicer or for your team. Here, we've noticed that the lis pendens has been filed in the county and that the service is complete and we're waiting for the court date. You also have workflows that are associated with each step. So here we can confirm that we had the foreclosure filing. And here it assigns that to me since I'm the one who completed it. You can filter notes by a number of different attributes: type, position, the entity, status. Let's take a look at this note. We're waiting for a workout. It looks like somebody on my team has looked at the terms and it looks good. Now we're just drafting the agreement for signature. It's not just about notes, though. Sometimes you need to, expenses are a big thing, and this is where there's a big connect between QuickBooks and other systems. NoteLedger has the ability to import transaction detail by account reports. These are reports that are available both in the desktop edition as well as in QuickBooks Online. You can, once you produce those reports, you can input them by going to the Integrations tab and importing the file. Once you do, it will set you up with an ability to choose which account is associated with which kind of action. Right now, we only support importing via expenses. In the future, we'll add income and being able to take payments. On the home screen, on the main dashboard, you'll get a suggestion when you have expenses to review. And this is where NoteLedger has a system where it intelligently can identify, based on the class of something, which note it's likely to be associated with. And here you can see that there was actually a duplicate. This is something that is going to save me some time with my conversation with my bookkeeper. You can even see that when it doesn't know what a note should be attached to, that it gives you an ability to search and attribute it to specific notes. You just type in the parts of the borrower or parts of the street address, and it will find the note, and you can attach it, or you can create a new note for it. It learns based on your association whether it's right or not, and it gives you a confidence of how likely it is to be attached to that particular note. Another system that we integrate with is Gmail and Office 365. And once connected, you can import contacts from your address book, or if you have professional tier, you have the advantage of doing smart import. What that does is it looks through your inbox. It doesn't read any emails. It looks at just the from address and the to address and the subject line and some other publicly available fields. And then it surfaces these on your dashboard to review. You just select a role and then import them in. As easy as that. This is a system that runs in the background looking for things like, is this person mentioning a loan that I own? Or is there back and forth communication, two-way communication? Things like that. So we talked about notes. We talked about QuickBooks integration. We talked about contacts, but sometimes you have just independent properties. Sometimes there's certainly collateral, but sometimes you own something free and clear. Maybe it's because you are purchasing it to fix it up and then put a note on it. Maybe it's because you foreclose and get access to it. And that's why we have workflows don't just apply to notes, workflows apply to properties too. So let's dig into the workflow engine. NoteLedger has an ability to create apply workflows across 3 areas: notes, properties, and contact roles. You can set up a separate workflow for servicers or attorneys or investors. In the intermediate state, you have the ability to fully customize the steps of a workflow. You can edit them, you can delete them, you can add new ones. In professional, you can totally edit new stages. You can customize the workflow for your business. And that's true both in the note, the property, and the contact. The last thing I want to show you is the integrations. Currently, we have Allied, FCI, and Madison. It supports file-based import, which is available in all tiers. API access is available when the servicer supports it. FCI and Madison both support it in intermediate and above. All you have to do is add your API key. And once you do, it does an initial import of all of your data records, all of the notes, the properties, the borrower, the payments, the escrow, the comments, everything. But maybe you are in the starter tier, and what's available there is Smart Import. You take a file and you grab the file and drop it in place, and it smartly detects what type of file it is. This is correctly labeling this as a notes. You select the entity you want to use this on. Here, it's seeing that these are all new, so it's going to create all of these. If some of these were in my system already, they would be updates instead. You can skip any ones you don't want applied. When you're done, it tells you how many it created and whether there were any errors. And then you can go here and select by the entity that we just selected, and we see the notes that we just imported in. This also works for all of the reports the servicer has: payments, comments, and the like. New feature that we have is automations, where you can request property data to be augmented. So you can get more details of the bedroom and bathroom count and the square footage, verification of the type of property it is. Also, you can pull in an AVM as well as sales comp data. This is something that you can do either one time, or you can annually or quarterly do it for all of your properties, and it gives you volume pricing. This is a feature that is available for intermediate and above. You can control who can order these if you want to restrict them, and you can set a monthly budget. This is NoteLedger. I hope you agree that this is a system that puts all of your data for note investing all in one place. It helps you get the right access to the right data at the right time to make actionable decisions. You can go to NoteLedger.io and sign up today. The starter pricing is $29 a month. The intermediate pricing is $79 a month, and the professional pricing is $199 a month. All of them have a 30-day money-back trial period, and only for a limited time, there'll be coupon codes that will give you 25% discount off not only the subscriptions, but any of the property valuations and property info requests for the first 6 months. Reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.